Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Find Your Treasures. I'm Kate, and today I'm excited to share with you a beautiful divine download that I had channeling on this tree banjo in our backyard. It's all about our guardian angels, our children's soul guides, and how amazing it is to discover who they are. So let's dive in. So, this is one of my favorite channelings that I have done so far. And when I first started channeling, leaning back onto banjo, I was asking lots of questions, I guess, and discovering more about myself and my journey as a children's author and all the things that I was going to create. And it's a bit of a transformation for me. If you've watched my background video, which I'll link below, you'll discover that I was a geologist before my intuition started expanding and I began channeling. So one day when I was leaning against a tree, my children asked me, Mum, who are our guardian angels? And I thought I didn't, my intellectual mind would know they would have angels watching over them, but I didn't know who they were. And so I would lean on the tree and I'd hold my children's hand. I started with my daughter, and then I just asked, who is my daughter's guardian angel? And the channeling was absolutely so beautiful that I couldn't wait to share that with you. So as I was asking it, I could see in my mind's eye my daughter standing in front of me, even though in this world, in this realm, she was holding my hand, standing next to me. But here, very clearly, I saw her standing in front of me, and she had little fairies, tiny little fairy angels, I'd call them, sliding down her cheeks. They were like doing as though they were sliding down a slide. They were playing on her cheeks. They were in her hair, braiding little plaits in her hair. They were playing with her eyelashes, these beautiful fairy angels. So they looked just like fairies, but they had a bit of an angelic vibe to them. And then they started sharing with me that they are her guardian angels, her guides, that they were always with her. One angel in particular, fairy angel, told me her name, and it sounded like the sound if you ran your fingers through wind chimes. So that translated to me, it was like Chimpachi, Chimpachi, something like this. So I said to my daughter, your guardian angel's name is Chimpachi. There was another angel, I think it was called Chinchilla. And so they all had this name, which sounded very similar to running your fingers through wind chimes. And they showed me that they're always with her, they surround her, and they showed me images they loved when she was playing. So they showed me with her sitting at her Barbie house playing, and I could see the actual energy and the glow around her when she was in, say, playing Imaginary World, Imaginary Play. She was glowing. So she had this vibration around her that they loved seeing. They also showed me that when she was playing outside, running around, playing on the grass, that they are running and playing with her, and they love to watch her play outside. In the fairy garden, they said that they showed me that they loved watching her play in the fairy garden. And what's an amazing visual is they showed me that as she's creating her fairy garden with, say, little houses and stones for roads and little mushroom caps, they are adding to it with what I guess would you call magic, but they are growing from it. So it was like an architecture in a way of the fact that she set an intention to create a fairy garden and added all these beautiful components to the garden. They are adding from that, they're growing from that. So there's a beautiful realm, if you like, in our fairy garden that they have added to because of the beautiful love, energy, and intention that she's focused into that spot. They were quite mischievous, which I think made sense to me and my daughter's personality. They were showing me that sometimes if she might fall over or trip over or spill something, especially spilling drinks, that they are actually involved in that and that they're always basically playing with her and not trying to trip her up or anything, but they're always keeping her lighthearted and keeping her being very playful and very high in a high vibration of frequency of joy and play. There was one little fairy angel in particular who sort of stood up as saying that basically she will be my daughter's daughter one day. So that they all work as a team and that as each of them incarnates, the others are always around them to guide them. So this little daughter, this little fairy angel will be my daughter's daughter, will be my granddaughter one day. And they were actually ribbing her, sort of saying, you're next, you're next. But they will always be with her and around her, supporting her, which was absolutely amazing to see. It was basically the first time I'd sort of seen in my channeling fairies and fairy angels. Was absolutely beautiful. It matches my daughter's spirit and personality so much, and kind of reminded me and gave me that insight to keep nourishing that in her. And you might be noticing that with your children. If they love creating like a fairy garden, then nourish that because they obviously have fairy angels as their spirit guides. And now my son's channel message, which was amazing, absolutely amazing as well. So I obviously didn't know what to expect. I just channeled for my daughter these beautiful fairy angels, their names and who they were. And then I held my son's hand and channeled on the tree, and everything changed. It was like a big blue light came down. So it was just solid cobalt blue. And I felt like I was in the sky. And there was this very strong male god angel. I guess it had the energy of Archangel Michael, came right into my view. And he was very loving, but very powerful. And he said, I'm one of the sky gods. And Yeshua, which is what he called my son, as I guess, his soul name, is one of us. He is one of the sky gods, and he spends a lot of time in this realm of very powerful, connected with, say, thunder and lightning, rain, the sky, but this really strong masculine, um, powerful divine masculine energy. And that he's one of us, and he's here now, and we are always with him. He's a sky god, and we're watching him and protecting him always. And the message they shared with me was that it's really important for me to encourage with my son to be playful and imaginary play. And especially, it's no surprise that he has a fairy angel as a sister because of who he's going to be as a father one day. They showed me in the vision that he will be the father to daughters. And so it was important for him to know how to nurture that relationship and to create an environment in their home of being playful, imaginary play to nurture his daughters. So it was really incredible to see the contrast between my son's really beautiful, strong sky god, very strong Archangel Michael, blue, powerful energy as being his soul guides, in contrast to my daughter's playful fairy angels who are all around her. And as a mother, it seemed like it didn't make much surprise to me that when you put a fairy angel and a sky god together in the room, sometimes they'll be, fighting and playing. But I feel like that insight was really incredible for me on many levels. I guess, growing up, we always kind of know that we have angels watching over us, but we probably haven't been made aware, or maybe we haven't been, seen before quite how intergalactic or multidimensional the assistance that we're getting, and that really the elemental world and some of the beautiful galactic helpers that we have watching over us are actually really watching over our children as well. So I hope you loved listening to that message of the channeling of my children's guardian angels and soul guides. And I'd love to know in the comments if you've connected with your children's soul guides, or have you ever had a feeling or a channeling or just any kind of inspiration over who's protecting and watching your children. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, thanks. Bye.